All right, if you're gearing up for your electronics technician exam, you know that understanding how all these complex systems talk to each other is a huge deal. What we're going to do today is take all those complicated diagrams and turn them into a simple story that actually sticks, helping you nail those questions. So, picture this. You're at your console, and a blip just pops up on the radar. Now, what is it? Is it a friend, an enemy, or just something neutral, like a passenger jet? This is probably the most important question in any naval operation, and today we're covering the systems that give you the answer. So how does a simple, anonymous blip get turned into real intelligence that you can act on? Well, it's not just one magic box doing all the work. It's actually a whole team of systems, layered on top of each other, all working together. Let's dive in and see how they pull it off. So, here's our game plan. We're going to walk through this step by step. We'll start with a basic problem, that lonely blip. And then we'll layer on the increasingly clever solutions. It's all designed to get this locked in for your exam. Okay, let's start at square one. Your primary radar, it's fantastic at what it does. But, and this is a big but, it also creates a huge fundamental problem for us. I mean, it tells you something is out there, how far away it is, and what direction it's in. But the one thing it can't tell you? What it is. And in a busy environment, knowing the what is everything. This is where our first system comes in, built just to solve this exact identity crisis. So, to solve that what is it problem, we bring in our first piece of the puzzle. It's a system called IFF, which, as the name says, stands for Identification, Friend, or Foe. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a secure electronic secret handshake. Now, here's the key takeaway for your exam. IFF is your #1 tool for preventing friendly fire. Its entire job is to automatically answer the question, hey, are you on our team? And it does this using a very specific process. And it works in 3 really simple steps. First, your ship's system, the interrogator, sends out a coded pulse. That's the challenge. Think of it like asking, what's the password? Then, if the target is friendly, its system, the transponder, automatically shoots back a different coded pulse. That's the reply. And finally, your system verifies that reply. If it's the right secret answer, boom, the target gets marked as a friend on your screen. This diagram here is perfect. It shows you exactly what's happening electronically. You've got the ship sending out that challenge signal, the friendly aircraft gets it, and its transponders sends back the correct IFF response. That signal goes right back to the radar receiver, and bam, it shows up on the screen as a friendly. What's really cool about IFF is that it's not just one size fits all. It uses different modes for different jobs. You've got Mode 3A, which is kind of the standard that even civilian air traffic uses. Then you have Mode 4, that's the super secret encrypted military handshake. And Mode C is also incredibly useful because it actually tells you the aircraft's altitude. Okay, so IFF is great. It solved our who are you problem. But, in a really busy operational area, it actually creates a brand new problem for us. Just too much information. Information overload. Right? So now it's not about identifying friendlies anymore. You've got dozens of them on the screen. Now it's an air traffic control problem. How do you keep them all organized and safe? And that, of course, leads us to our next system. And this is exactly where DARE steps in. DARE stands for Direct Altitude and Identity Readout. Basically, it grabs all that great data from IFF, like the identity from Mode 3/A and the altitude from Mode C, and puts it into a nice clean display for the air traffic controllers. It's the system that turns a chaotic screen of blips into an orderly sky. And DARE isn't just one single thing. You'll find different versions of it depending on where you are. There's one for big bases on shore, a different type for the massive, busy flight deck of an aircraft carrier, and even a specialized version for amphibious ships controlling their helicopters. Okay, let's recap where we are. We've got IFF to identify friendlies. We've got DIR to manage them. But what about everything else? What about the actual enemy contacts or the data coming from our sonar? And how do we connect all of this to our weapons? This right here is the biggest challenge of all, system integration. You have all these amazing sensors giving you little pieces of the puzzle. You need something to put the whole thing together. You need a brain, a central nervous system for the ship. And that brain is the NTDS, the Naval Tactical Data System. Think of it like this. NTDS is the command center of the ship's entire combat system.
It sucks in all the raw data, from radar, IFS, sonar, even from other ships and planes, and it fuses it all together into one clear picture that the command team can actually use to fight the ship.
This diagram just nails it. See the NTADS computers right there in the middle? They're the hub. They're taking in information from all the ship's senses, like sonar systems for hunting subs and the missile systems, and then sending out commands to the weapon launchers and the operator displays.
Okay, for your exam, these are the functions you absolutely have to know. NTDS doesn't just show you a pretty picture. It helps automate the whole fight. From the moment a target is detected, it helps track it, figure out if it's a threat, assign the best weapon to take it out, and then even tells you if you got a hit.
Okay, let's bring it all home and make sure this stuff sticks. We've gone from one lonely blip to a full-blown tactical picture. We're going to do a rapid-fire recap, and then I'll give you a few practice questions that you should be able to knock out of the park by now. This slide right here, this is your cheat sheet. Seriously, you might want to screenshot this. It boils everything down perfectly. IFF asks, who are you? DIIR looks at all the friendlies and asks, okay, where are all of you so I can keep you organized? And then NTDS takes in everything and asks the big question. All right, what do we do now?
All right, now's the time to pause and really test yourself. Can you answer these? If you can talk me through challenge, reply, and recognition, explain the big difference between the civilian mode and the encrypted military mode, describe how DARE solves information overload, and explain why we call NTDS the ship's brain, you are in fantastic shape for your exam.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the point of all this? Why connect all these complicated systems together? It's all about one thing: information superiority. The side that can see the whole picture, understand what's happening faster, and act on it quicker, that's the side that wins. And that's why every single piece, from a simple IFF handshake to a complex NTDS command, is so incredibly important. Good luck on that exam.